Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the Hawaii Association for College Admission Counseling's virtual college fair. We're excited that you're here. We have a great group of colleges and presenters lined up to speak with you this evening and hopefully share some exciting information that will help with your college search process. So just a few housekeeping announcements from me before we get started. First, your cameras and microphones are turned off, so don't worry, we can't see you or hear you. Hopefully you can see and hear us okay. If for some reason you can't, just send us a message using that Q&A button on your Zoom toolbar, and we will be happy to help troubleshoot that with you. Speaking of the Q&A button, that is really your best way to engage with our presenters this evening. So as you have questions for these colleges and universities, feel free to drop those in the Q&A box at any time during the session. Starting now, it can be before they present, while they're presenting, or after. It can be to one college or all of them. And we'll be monitoring those throughout the session and are happy to answer those as those come in. Don't forget, this is just one of many sessions being offered, so be sure to check the StriScan website where you signed up for any additional sessions you might be interested in, as well as all the session recordings will be posted there within about a week or so as well. So before I turn things over, I want to show you what our schedule looks like for tonight. So we are session A5 in the top right-hand corner. So our order for tonight is Lehigh University, the University of Essex, Villanova University, the University of Edinburgh, University of Florida, and University of Glasgow. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Lehigh University to kick things off.
Of course, there. I did click on mute, but here we go. First up, okay, so Lehigh University. The first thing I do want to say before I say anything is that we all understand on the college side what the last year has been like for ourselves, and so we have an idea of what that's been like for you, and so we will understand that in the process. So just kind of feel assured. We also know it's been really difficult on the side of social justice issues and things, and again, that is definitely something that we are keeping in our minds as we review applications and assist you in this process. So just wanted to put that out there for you. So my name is Jessica DeSantis. I am a Senior Associate Director of Admissions at Lehigh. I've been working with students from Hawaii for, I think, 10 or 11 years now. Very familiar with a lot of the schools and the students and alumni that we have out on the island, so always happy to connect you with the institution. With that, just a couple of quick things about where we're located. I think it's definitely one of those needed pieces here, and that is an hour north of Philadelphia, hour and a half west of New York City, great East Coast location. We do have a second location though, the Lehigh at NASDAQ Center in San Francisco with a Western Regional Office in Silicon Valley. And so we're really able to play off the strengths of being near some major metros on the East Coast, but also the great entrepreneurial kind of spirit that is out in California as well. So a nice balance. So when we talk about the East Coast and our location here, please know getting here is pretty easily. You can take a direct flight or connect and go right into Newark Airport. It's about an hour from campus. There's a bus that runs out to the city of Bethlehem where we are. So we are accessible. With that, just keeping in mind that there is an airport 10 minutes from campus as well. And it's what I use when I fly out to the island. So just keep that in mind that that's an option for you as well. It does go out to a lot of the major hubs out on the East Coast and the Midwest, like O'Hare and things like that. Okay, so the city of Bethlehem itself, you can see here, we do have 4 seasons. We are in the Northeast after all, but there's a lot more to Bethlehem than just being kind of near New York and Philly and having 4 full seasons and things like that. We are the third largest metro area in the state of Pennsylvania with over 800,000 residents. There's a lot to do here in terms of entertainment, minor league sports, just know that there's a lot happening here. The nice balance part to Lehigh, though, is the fact that we're only about 25 minutes to the Pocono Mountains. So hiking, yes, skiing, things like that. You absolutely can get outdoors. This is a very outdoorsy kind of institution. So our students are very, very active with the outing club and things like that. So wanted to give you a little sense of campus as well. We are on a mountain, although it really is more of a big hill. For those of you out on the islands that really know what the mountains are about and things. But this is a little sense of what our campus looks like. You can see that the edge of campus over towards the right-hand side, literally you cross the street, you're in the city of Bethlehem. So this is not a rural campus, although at times you feel a little bit like that. So it is a nice, I think, break from perhaps the hubbub of being in the third largest metro in the state, and at the same time having a park-like campus to really call home and feel like that you have that kind of peaceful setting. So I just want to give you another sense of the institution as well, and that's kind of overarching what's happening at Lehigh. We're all about problem solving. And so we're trying to do that in many different ways, give our students the skills and mindsets and everything. So just keep in mind that we really do encourage creativity. We're really trying to make sure our students are working together with faculty and staff, that they can pursue interests outside the classroom. At the end of the day, one of the common themes you'll find among our students, though, the students who really thrive here is really the fact that they want to have an impact on humanity. So there is that real deep, purposeful kind of passion here at Lehigh, which I think is really meaningful. So a couple quick things to kind of just keep in mind about our institution. We are a medium-sized school, so that means that you have the resources of a much larger school, like research, Division I athletics, and so on. And yet at the same time, it's still very personal, like a small school. And so you will definitely find that balance where you know your professors, you have deep relationships with them, they mentor our students, provide career advice, and things. So that is definitely very important here at Lehigh as we balance those two aspects. Our students definitely appreciate the fact that we are an intentionally diverse community. So we're really trying to make sure that all students have the opportunities to come to Lehigh, they all have support services available to them so that all students can succeed. And that's really a key part of what we're doing. We do believe that this is a microcosm of the world. And so we want to make sure, again, that there's opportunities for all students. We've been a HEAT award-winning school the past few years for diversity and inclusion. We've been recognized for our women in STEM pre-orientation programs and things. So there's a lot that we're doing. My favorite is really in the area of first generation college bound students with all sorts of opportunities like study abroad, specifically advising for them and making sure that their passport is paid for so they can go abroad. And that's just one of many different kinds of supports that we have. I'm going to kind of just cut myself out there just to make sure that you do have a chance here to learn a little bit more about Lehigh. So as you can see, really, again, trying to make sure that all students have a welcoming community. This is definitely one of those schools where students are friendly. It is East Coast friendly, as one of my students used to say, because there is a cultural difference out here on the East Coast. And also recognizing the fact that yes, our students are bright and very driven, but at the same time, they are not cutthroat. This is not one of those types of institutions. So definitely a key thing to keep in mind. We have a great deal of diversity, not only among our student body, but also across our areas of academic pursuits. So we do try and make sure that students can try different kinds of things in the different colleges that we have, take classes, change your mind, pursue other interests, blend things together. Interdisciplinary study is a huge part to what we're doing here at Lehigh. So please keep that in mind. We are a research institutions. We do want to make sure that students are using information that they are learning. So this is not just a rote memorization kind of place. This is an active learning environment. So please keep that in mind as well. The other key part to understanding Lehigh really is the active student life that we have here. It does not matter what you pursue academically. You can do anything that you want extracurricularly. We have Division I athletes involved in theater. Most of our students are involved in community service. There's just a wide variety of ways that you can get involved here at Lehigh, and I want to stress that. Many traditions here at Lehigh as well, so just keep in mind that there's many connections back to a greater institution. And in the end, we've got great placement for our students. So internships, co-ops, even in the world of COVID, we still were able to place our students at about a 95% placement rate overall post-graduation. So lots of great options for our students. So I'll cut myself off there. Please ask more questions. I know I was rapid fire East Coast, but that's what we have to do.
Awesome. Thank you, Jessica. Okay, next up, we are going to the University of Essex.
Amazing. Thank you, Tyler. I will just share my screen now. Okay, hopefully you should be able to see my screen. So good evening, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Tim. I'm the International Officer for North America at the University of Essex. So it's my job to be the main point of contact for students from the US and from Canada who are looking to apply to the University of Essex. So I thought it would probably be best to start with a slide on why students should choose to study in England. Now, there's a few different terms that you might have become familiar with about England and the United Kingdom, which includes ourselves and Scotland. You have two Scottish universities here today, and Wales and Northern Ireland. The University of Essex is based in England, which is the sort of the southern part of the right-hand island. English universities have 3-year bachelor's degrees. So we have what's known as an early degree specialism, meaning that from year 1, students study the course that they choose to study. We don't do general ed. So all 3 years are focused purely on one area, be it politics or human rights or biomedical science or whatever it might be. Now, there are a few exceptions to this in the UK. So if you're looking to study medicine, for example, or pharmacy or architecture, these tend to be longer stints. Similarly, Scottish degrees are 4 degrees as opposed to 3 degrees. And I'm very sure to mention that, given that our Scottish universities are here today, and they hate when we don't include them within the UK spiel. Tuition fees in England and the United Kingdom generally are fairly competitive, particularly in comparison to studying out of state or at a private institution. So at the University of Essex, tuition fees typically range between 20,000 to 30,000 US dollars a year. On top of this, we are FAFSA accredited, so we're able to accept federal aid loans in the vast majority of institutions in the UK, including the University of Essex. We have a wide range of international scholarships available as well. These are given on academic merit, on sporting ability in some instances. We also accept veterans benefits in the UK as well. When you apply to the UK, you use a common application system, which is known as UCAS, it's the University and Colleges Admission Service. It's very similar to the Common App. You make one application and it's sent to 5 universities. And indeed, some institutions in the UK are available on, on the Common App also. When you come to the UK, actually, it's no longer a Tier 4 student visa. It's known as the student visa route. This will allow you to stay in the UK for the duration of your studies. It will allow you to work part-time on or off campus as part of the experience. And for students from 2021, we'll be able to stay in the UK for 2 years post-graduation. So if you wanted to stay in the UK and wanted to live and work and develop an English accent, you'd be able to do so without needing a company sponsor. So we're the University of Essex. We're a university that's based in the southeast of the United Kingdom, just outside of London on the east-hand side. We typically have around 100 US students studying at Essex each year at both undergraduate and postgraduate level. We have 3 locations. So we have our Colchester campus, which is the largest of our 3 campuses. We have a campus based actually in London itself, known as Loughton, which is home to our acting school. And we have a campus in Southend also. What I really enjoy about working in the US is that our students come to us for a wide variety of reasons, and they come for different courses or different reasons when they come over. We have a very famous acting school at the university, which is known as East 15. It's ranked first for drama in the UK, and it's a conservatoire style acting school. It's the only non-American school in the world to be recognized by IRTA, and in more normal times, we audition students in California and New York each year. They've got a wide range of courses in the field of acting and world performance and stage combat, and this is a very popular choice for our students from the US. Similarly, we have a lot of students coming to study in the social sciences. So we're home to the Human Rights Centre at the University of Essex, which is recognised as a world leader in the field of human rights. We're 29th in the world for politics and international studies. So for students who are looking to study politics, international relations and global studies, we're a very strong choice also. We are home to the leading volleyball and basketball programmes at the University of Essex. So we're home to the University of Essex Sport Arena, which is where the Essex Rebels play, and you can see them on the right hand side. Again, a very popular choice for our students from the US. Now, in true 6x6 fashion, I'm just making sure that I've got enough time on the clock. I'm going to give 6 reasons why students should choose to study at the University of Essex. One being location. So we've got 3 campuses at the University of Essex, our Colchester, Southend and Loughton campus. Now, one thing you'll probably know about the United Kingdom is that it's very, very small. So it's very easy to get around. All students use public transport, and the public transport systems in the UK are really good, meaning that you don't need to learn A, how to drive stick, or B, drive on the wrong side of the road. All of our campuses are within easy reach of London, which is the UK's #1 student city. So our Colchester campus is around 45 minutes from London on the train, similar in Southend, and Loughton is actually just on the tube line in London. Colchester is the UK's oldest recorded town. So when the Romans came over to the UK, they stopped at Colchester first. Indeed, it was the first sort of capital in the UK before Boudica moved over to London. Being in the south of the UK, we have some of the UK's best weather, although I understand that's probably a different comparison to what you might be experiencing in Hawaii. We've got a mix of beaches, cities, towns, and cute villages. I will speed up with my presentation. So with academic teaching, we were recognized as gold in the UK. So this is the highest ranking of teaching that students are able to get, and we have a wide range of subjects available. We have over 160 sports clubs and societies at the university. All of our campuses have theatres on campus. We have our sports arena. We've got over 20 restaurants and bars, and we spend a lot of money on our students. So we're 7th for spend on students in the UK. Our degrees are 3 years in duration, meaning you'll miss a year of study, a wide range of scholarships available. We've got a very good employability record at the University of Essex, and indeed most of our courses have employability modules built into our undergraduate degrees. And what I really love about the University of Essex is our global community. So it's close to 40% of our student body are international or come from overseas, including many from the US, but this really adds to an excellent learning experience and an excellent way to learn whilst you're in the UK. That is everything from myself. My email is there. I look forward to answering your questions later, and I will pass on to the next presenter. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Tim. Okay, next up, we're going to Villanova University.
Hello, it gives me a great pleasure to be with you today. And I thought I had this all set up, and let's share the screen. There we go. Hi, nice to see all of you. My name is Candace Keith, and I'm the Director of Admission Operations and the Office of Undergraduate Admission at Villanova University. We are a Catholic institution, and we were founded in 1842 by the Augustinian friars who had come to the Philadelphia area to meet the needs of the Irish Catholic population in the city of Philadelphia, which at that time were certainly disenfranchised and not highly thought after. And so our mission really goes back to helping all those who need, are pursuing an education. Villanova's Augustinian Catholic intellectual tradition is the cornerstone of our academic community, in which students learn to think critically, act compassionately, and succeed while serving others. So that is our Villanova Church that you will see on the main campus. We too, like Lehigh, are located in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, but we're actually a little bit closer to Philadelphia, just about 20 minutes away, 25 minutes away from Philadelphia, also about an hour and a half away from New York City, and just about 2 hours away from Washington, DC. We are a residential campus that affords the students that opportunity to have the traditional experience of living on campus. There are 2 train lines that go by through the university, which allow the students to go directly into Philadelphia in about 20-25 minutes. There's also the trains that take you to the airport, up to New York City. So wonderful location in regard to being in the Northeast, both for on-campus and off-campus opportunities. We were founded as a traditional liberal arts institution, so all students, regardless of which of the 4 colleges they're enrolled in, will have that strong liberal arts foundation. We offer about 80 different majors, minors, and areas of concentration. So our students really do take advantage of their 4 years on campus. And if they're bringing in APs or other types of advanced credits, it allows them to possibly do study abroad opportunities, be able to graduate maybe a year earlier. The College of Liberal Arts and Sciences seeks to create ethical leaders who create positive change everywhere that they go. The Villanova School of Business has been ranked by #1 by Bloomsburg Business Week, and they're developing business leaders for a better world. In the College of Engineering, they're problem solvers, and it's hands-on opportunities right from the beginning. And with the College of Nursing, they are considered one of the centers for excellence, and students begin their clinical settings in their 2nd semester of their sophomore year. And this is rather unusual for 4-year programs. And there's over 72 different clinical settings within the area, including in Philadelphia, the Children's Hospital, which is very well known. All these programs are direct admit into business, engineering, nursing, and for students in the liberal arts, they're going into political science, communication, history, biology, chemistry, cognitive and neurobehavioral sciences. In regard to Villanova, one of the biggest things that we strive for is on our seal, the Unitas Veritas Caritas. And the Unitas is that truth, that academic excellence that you're going to receive. There are over 20 centers for excellence where students can do independent research, work with faculty members. There's the Augustine Culture Seminar class where students will learn about St. Augustine, who he was, and it's a year-long course, and students can do that through a learning community because St. Augustine wanted to live and learn in community with his friends. There's more than 36 honor societies, the Center for Research and Fellowship, and we are one of the national producers of Fulbright scholars. So our students are very much so involved in academics. Our study abroad opportunities, about 40% of the students will do some type of study abroad experience, granted not with COVID. Internship opportunities are highly sought after and certainly offer opportunities for the students for work. Unitas is that unity, that personal attention, that great sense of community, our small classes, research with faculty members. We have about 6,700 undergraduate students and an average class size of about 22 students and a 12-to-1 student faculty ratio. World-renowned, very highly recognized orientation program, house calls program, which is really unique program for our first year students within their first 6 weeks of classes. Over 260 different clubs and organizations, Division I sports, club sports, intramural sports. And we are, again, a residential campus with over 32 different residence halls. The last component is that of Caritas, and certainly as a Catholic institution that is love, service to others. And one of the biggest programs is that St. Thomas of Villanova Day. And our students give over 250,000 volunteer hours every year. Habitat for Humanity and Special Olympics. And just some general information that you will find on the website in regard to our deadlines. We are a common application school, and we very much so work with the deadlines, and follow us on social media. And here's ways that you can communicate, not just with the office, but with students also. So go Cats. Thank you.
Candace. Okay, students, if you have any questions, feel free to continue submitting those in the Q&A function on your Zoom toolbar. Next up, we are going to go to the University of Edinburgh.
Hi, everybody. My name is Hilary Sementina, and I am the West Coast representative for the University of Edinburgh, and I am based in California. So Edinburgh is Scotland's capital city, but it has a relatively small population for a capital with just over 500,000 people. And students make up about 15% of the city's population. There's actually 4 universities in Edinburgh, but the University of Edinburgh is the largest. As a capital, we have everything you would expect: museums, theater, cinemas, nightlife, etc. But it's a very neighborhoodly feel to it. It's compact and walkable. You do not need a car to get around. Most students will walk or ride their bike, or we have a great bus system as well. The University of Edinburgh is one of Scotland's ancient universities. We're founded in 1583, so over 400 years old, and we're currently ranked 20th in the world, which puts us alongside Columbia University and the University of Michigan. Like most UK institutions, we are a research-led university with over 80% of our academic staff actively involved in research, and we're associated with many Nobel Prize and a Pulitzer Prize winner. As Scotland's largest university, we are very open to the world and have over 100 students from over 160 different countries studying with us. We have about a 41% international population, meaning students who come from outside of the UK. And we have 45,000 students in total, and about 25,000 of those are undergraduates. But as you can see, we're very proud of the fact that we are the #1 destination in the United Kingdom for US and Canadian students. We currently have about 2,000 US students studying with us. And we have societies and university events that celebrate and support our diverse student and staff community. So our university is divided into 3 colleges, but that's not to say we're a collegiate system like Oxford or Cambridge. It's just how we structure our academic disciplines. So the largest is the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences, and that's where you'll find subjects such as architecture, law, business, English, literature, etc. Then we have the College of Science and Engineering, which has our informatics or computer science department, mathematics, physics, geosciences, engineering. And then the smallest is our College of Medicine and Veterinary Medicine, where our medical and vet students study. So as a large institution, you would expect we have a lot of degree programs to choose from. There's over 390 undergraduate degrees across 58 subjects. So hopefully we offer a degree program that you're interested in. And our academic year is divided into 2 semesters. Semester 1 runs from September until December. Then we close for a 2-week winter break, and semester 2 is from January until May. So as my colleague from the University of Essex said, the Scottish degree system is slightly different from the rest of the UK in that most of our programs are 4 years in length, and the Scottish system actually directly influenced the North American undergraduate degree system. So with our 4-year program, it means you have flexibility in the subjects that you study. In your first 2 years, you will take classes that are compulsory for your major, but then you'll also get to choose electives and outside subjects that you're interested in. Then once you get into your 3rd year, that's where you really specialize and study your major and concentrate on that. We also have the option in a lot of our degree programs to study abroad. And I know as a US student studying in the UK, you would already be studying abroad for your undergraduate degree, but you could go to a different country somewhere in Europe, or you could even go somewhere in the United States to do your year abroad. And at Edinburgh, we really encourage independent, self-guided thinking and critical and robust reasoning. So students are really expected to make their own study groups, go to the library, do a lot of independent research outside of class. And don't worry, studying in the UK, your degree will be internationally recognized and accredited when you return back to the United States. I can speak from experience. I myself studied at the University of Edinburgh, and I've had no problems with my degree being recognized upon returning to the US. So obviously your studies are important, but so is your life outside the classroom. In September, we have Welcome Week, which is the week before your classes begin, with orientation activities and events for all of our new students. We also have over 290 student groups and societies, which I believe is more than any other UK institution. These range from the serious, such as the debate team and Amnesty International, to the maybe not so serious like the Harry Potter Society or the Chocolate Lovers Society. We also have 64 sports clubs, and you can play sports at all levels at our university. You can be one of our elite athletes and play on a university team and compete against other UK or European institutions, or you can play very casually on our intramural leagues. We also have over 9,000 residential rooms for university housing. And the great thing about studying at Edinburgh is that all international undergraduate students are guaranteed university housing in their first year, as long as they apply by the deadline. And then on campus, we have health and well-being and support services that you can use while you're studying with us, such as a counseling center, a career service, health center, etc. So now that you've decided this sounds fantastic, I'm definitely applying to the University of Edinburgh. That's great. We welcome applications from well-qualified applicants. You will apply through the Universities and College Admission Service, or UCAS, which is like the UK's Common App. And we do have specific entry requirements for US applicants. Students who are entering this September, we are test flexible, meaning if you haven't been able to take a standardized test, we will look at alternative evidence, such as your transcript and any honors or advanced classes you're doing. It hasn't been decided for 2022 yet, but watch this space. And then to end, although you can't visit Edinburgh in person at the moment, we have a virtual visit where you can get an idea of life in the city and the university, and you can chat to our current student ambassadors to get the student experience from them as well. And thank you very much.
Awesome, thanks, Hillary. Okay, next up, we are going to the University of Florida.
Hi, I'm the West Coast Regional News Officer with the University of Florida. Thanks for joining us here this Saturday afternoon, early afternoon for y'all. So a little bit about Florida. We are in North Central Florida. So the blue star that you see on the screen, that is where Gainesville is. There's a little tiny airport nearby that's really easy to get to from campus. It's about 15 minutes. We have over 300 undergraduate and graduate majors, 97% freshman retention rate. We're really proud of that. That's really nice. 97% freshmen start with us, come back. They like life as a Gator. We have over 64% of our students graduating debt-free, but that's more probably for the in-state students. Great scholarship. And we're also number 2 for best value. We are a public school, so that's where you're gonna pay the out-of-state tuition. In the pictures that I have, a lot of people are like, I haven't even been to Florida. They don't know much about Florida. So there's lots of pictures in my presentation to give you an idea of what it would be like if you were a Gator. A couple great things happening on campus. Artificial intelligence. We have best, fastest AI computer of any college or university, any higher ed unit that's right there on our campus. And we're also going to be sharing that intellectual knowledge with all the other public schools in the state of Florida. So if you're interested in AI, which we believe is going to be the way of the future, anybody who's studying, doesn't matter what your major is, it could be art history, it could be mechanical engineering, whatever it is on our campus, you're going to be able to take those courses. Innovation Academy, this is our entrepreneurship. So if you want to be an entrepreneur or product development, then you might want to join our innovation. We do not admit based on major. We are not impacted. So we don't care if you want to be, let's see, was something that a lot of people find impacted. Aeronautical engineering, mechanical engineering, a business school, all those are not impacted. You apply to be a Gator, you apply to the University of Florida, and you can change your major. You can go undecided. So exploratory happens to be our most popular major right now. People trying to figure out what they want to study. We have an honors program that you apply to as an incoming freshman. And if you do not get accepted as an incoming freshman, you can apply after your first year. And this is a campus-wide honors program. And there's also different colleges have their own honors programs. Undergrads can do research. We let our undergrads, you can get involved in research right there as a freshman. It's no big deal. We don't have to wait till your junior, senior in grad school. We have an international center and the city abroad is housed. So you can go over to Scotland if you'd like to go study, or over to England if you would like to go visit over there. We have great programs with some schools on the other side of the pond. In the south, we're on 6 different continents, so there's plenty of places for you to go study. We have over 1,000 clubs and activities. We want you busy. We want you doing things besides just sitting in a classroom. In college, go have some fun. You can do skydiving, scuba diving, cricket. Maybe you want to play cricket. Maybe you'd like to get your, I don't know, maybe you want to learn how to knit. Whatever it is, you come join some clubs. We also have intramural sports teams. So you can do intramural sports evenings, on the weekends, maybe during the day because you have classes in the afternoon. It's really flexible. It's really easy. Great way to blow off some steam. We have Greek life. So we have sororities and fraternity houses right there on campus. So we have like the social Greek life. We also have Greek life that involves your major, maybe what you want to do when you get out of school. So it's not just the fraternity. There's a lot of things that involves Greek life. We have ROTC. We have all 4 branches on campus. So if you're trying to think of a way to pay for college and you're not quite sure how to go and thought about going through the military, maybe talk to somebody in one of the branches and find out about ROTC, because it's a great way to find some money. We are D1 athletic, we are the SEC, and just like all American universities, we're all pretty proud of our athletics, and we think the SEC is pretty cool. The Gator Nation. So we have over 500,000 Gator all over the world. And it's really cool. We had a friend of mine from San Diego that was in Singapore, and it was 4 night. There was a Gator game going on. And I think it was like, I don't know what time it was, Singapore time, but he ended up at their Gator club and watched the game and met a whole bunch of friends. Really cool. Right now, we are noticed as best public university in the United States, and we're trying to break into the top 5. We're going to leapfrog some UC schools. That's the plan. And one of the ways we're doing that is through artificial intelligence. Like I said, we are the ones speaking about that right now. So we're really, really proud of AI. These just pictures around campus. One in the upper right, sports journalism is very popular at the University of Florida. We have a great partnership with ESPN. This is just one of the rooms. And a lot of times when ESPN comes with their big trailers to film all the games and stuff, they'll get to the trailer our equipment because it's actually pretty good. Architecture, business, there's so many great things going on our campus. if you'd like to connect with me, you want to get your phone out real quick and take a picture of that QR code. That will take you to the freshman page that you input your information and get on our mailing list. This is my email. This is my phone number. This is my work phone number. So you can text me, you can call me right on that number right there. And I am in Mountain Time. I live in Colorado. So just to give you a heads up of where my phone calls are going to come in and at what time. You can do virtual tours. And if you want to get in touch, there's other people. But since you all are from Hawaii, you all belong to me. You're all my students. So definitely just shoot me an email. Thanks for your time. And we're going to go to the next university.
Awesome. Thank you, Pam. I'm going to leave your slide up for just a couple extra seconds. I think our slides were a little bit delayed seeing them from when you're talking. So just give students a second to get that QR code if they would like it. And then next we'll go to Ashley with the University of Glasgow.
All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Ashley Savajan. I am the Senior International Officer for the University of Glasgow. I am based in California as well, and I act as your local point of contact. The University of Glasgow was founded in 1451, so we are actually the fourth oldest institution in the English-speaking world. So with over 500 years of academic excellence and history behind us, we consistently rank as a world top 100 institution. In terms of student population size, we actually have around 29,000 students, but what's really cool about that is that it's a very diverse student body. So we actually have over 140 nationalities represented on campus. Over 30% of our students come from overseas, and we have around 1,000 North Americans studying on campus with us, including quite a few students from Hawaii as well. So Scotland is great. I always like to say Scotland is great for a student who has a sense of adventure. It was voted the most beautiful country in the world by Rough Guides in 2019. I did my undergrad there, and I can attest you don't have to travel very far to see beautiful scenery like what's in this. So if you ask a University of Glasgow student what their favorite hobby is, they're probably going to tell you that they love to travel. So it's a great place to take advantage of what's right in your backyard. So there's lots of outdoor activities, whether it be mountain climbing or winter sports if you're brave enough. I am not. But I can have a hot chocolate and watch other people do it. But of course, it's more than just the outdoor activities. There's plenty of arts, culture, live music, festivals, and of course, history to take in as well when you're studying in Scotland. Glasgow itself is actually the largest city in Scotland, although it is not the capital. It's about 40 minutes away from Edinburgh by train. It was recently named one of the friendliest cities in the world as well. There's around 1 million people living in Glasgow, but I always like to say that it's definitely a city with a pulse. It's very fun. There's always something going on. It's also UNESCO City of Music, and on average, there's 150 music events that take place across the city every single week. So everything from those really small venues, you'll be walking down the street and pass by a little hole in the wall cafe that has live music streaming out, all the way up to the Hydra, which is pictured here. It's the building that's all lit up. That's actually the second busiest arena venue in the world. So you do get some really big name artists as well stop by Glasgow. The University of Glasgow campus is actually based in the west end of the city. So this is a quieter, more laid back part of Glasgow. There's lots of cobbled streets, beautiful architecture, fewer chain restaurants, and more independently owned cafes, restaurants, shops, and microbreweries and things like that. It's where you're going to find a lot of cultural aspects of the city, such as art galleries, museums, botanic gardens, and of course, the University of Glasgow campus. So a lot of our students will live in the West End as well. As Tim mentioned earlier, the UK is known for having fantastic public transportation. The city of Glasgow has a subway system. There's trains, buses. Whenever I'm there, I just walk. It's very pedestrian friendly and easy to get around. Our campus is pretty manageable. We're not spread out all across the city. You can get from one end to the other in about 10 minutes. It sits on top of the hill, on top of a hill in the city. So from many parts of the city, you can look up and see our beautiful bell tower. But then if you go to the top of our 13th floor library, you also get fantastic views of the rest of the city as well. I always like to point out our Fraser building here because it's essentially a one-stop shop for all things student support. So at Glasgow, we like to make sure that our students all have access to a rich network of support. We do have a dedicated international student support team. We do have a careers service. We have a study abroad team. There's even a doctor's office right on campus. So we just try to make sure that our students know that there's always a point of contact and someone to help when they come to study with us as well. In terms of what you can study, business management, computing sciences, engineering, and psychology are amongst some of our most popular majors. But at the University of Glasgow, we actually have over 300 degree combinations. So there is plenty of flexibility and choice available to you if you're looking to do a joint major, maybe a major minor option. There are many degree combinations that you can pick from. It's been mentioned before that the UK and Scotland in particular, that degree structure is going to be slightly different than what you might find at a US institution. In Scotland, our degrees are 4 years in length, but you do study your major from day one. So it's great for the student who knows what they want. There's no core curriculum or education requirements, so it's nice, but there is still some flexibility to study to study subjects from outside of your major. So you still get that flexibility and choice with your degree. So please feel free to ask me more about that later on as well. In terms of entry requirements, traditionally, we would be focused on things like exam scores, but we are confirmed as test optional for 2021 and 2022 entry. Again, please feel free to ask me more about the specifics about that, but you can apply to us using either the UCAS application or Common App. So either of those would be fine. We do FAFSA, and the GI Bill comes across to us, and you can feel free to keep in touch with me anytime if more questions come up. Thank you all very much for listening, and I will pass it off now.
Awesome, thanks, Ashley. Okay, well, that is the end of our formal presentations, but we have a few minutes left. So I'm going to ask our presenters if you want to turn your cameras back on. Students, if you have questions, now would be a great time to drop those in Q&A. We still have a few minutes left and we will be monitoring those. But in the meantime, I want to ask at least one more final question to all of our panelists. And that question is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And so we will go in the same order that we started.
My basic thing is be authentic. Look at schools that authentically seem like a good fit, not just because, oh, they're ranked number 2 or for whatever category. Although for food, that sounds really important. But so just look at the schools that feel really good to you. In the same way that I, advise students on the East Coast, don't just look at Hawaii Pacific because it's in the state of Hawaii and you're like, oh, that sounds great. But you're not really serious about actually going out there. So in the same way, I just put that forth to you. I think authenticity in this process will lead you to a school that is an amazing fit where you'll have a great experience.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree, and I would say obviously that research is key for any university application. But I think in particular, if you're looking at abroad options, there is, over 130 or 180 universities in the United Kingdom alone, and each one of those is entirely different in terms of campus location and student body and course offerings. And whilst the UK might all seem very similar, it's a very versatile place. So it's important to be doing the research and get in touch with universities directly. I think there's a lot of students who might be a little bit reticent to reach out and speak to university representatives, but that's entirely what we're here to do. We're here to assist students and give them the kind of the best advice that we can for their best fit. So those would be my advices.
I would echo Jessica and Tim, and once you do your research and you have found the right fit, deadlines. Don't wait till the last minute. We all have different deadlines. Some are rolling admission, others earlier, deadlines for applying, deadlines for scholarships, deadlines for financial aid. If you are a rising junior, going to be a senior next year, work on your essay this summer, essays, ask your teachers and counselors early. You want to make sure you get a good recommendation, not a last minute rushed recommendation. So timing, deadlines, the essay is the one thing you have control over, whether we're test optional, test flexible. You don't have to worry about that as much, but you can control your essay, what you'd like to write about, and that would be part of Jessica's authenticity, so that it's not just authenticity where, that fit, but who you are yourself. So Timing, deadlines, very, very important. We all have different ones.
I suppose what I would add to this, it's all along the similar lines, is that a lot of people around you will probably have opinions and advice that they want to give you on where you should go, families, friends, etc. But just really think about what you want and what will make you happy. It is your degree and your studies that you're going to be doing. So just put yourself first if you can, and think about where you will be happiest.
I have to say, everything's been great. Everybody's saying something. It's like, oh, I was going to say that. Oh, I was going to say that. So this is great advice everybody's given to you. Also make a list. It's not only the big schools or the little schools. Make a variety of schools. And you might find something about a little school that you thought only happened to big schools, but it was like better and it was more for you for a good fit. Or maybe for a big school. Just don't limit yourself on, I only want to go to a big one, or I only want to go to a tiny one, or I only want to stay in the United States. You know, look outside the United States. Look at the big schools. Look at the little schools. I just say add some variety in your search process.
Yeah, I totally agree with everything that's been said so far. I guess what I would add to that is, there's so many options available when it comes to, researching what college is going to be right from you, and you're going to get a great academic experience. So my recommendation is to also research the campus culture, research the student life, and see if the city that is going to be a good fit, see if that student life aspect is going to be a good fit, and take that into account so you can match it with what's right for you.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you all for sharing. I think we got everyone, right? Ashley, you were last. Didn't want to cut anyone off. So, okay, that is all the time we have for today. I know we have a couple of questions that came in, so I'm going to leave this open for a couple of minutes. But students, thank you so much for joining us. When you do close the Zoom window, there will be a very quick 4-question survey. If you don't mind completing that, we'd really appreciate any feedback that you have. Don't forget, there are more sessions being offered this afternoon. So check that StriveScan website, sign up for any additional sessions you might be interested in, as well as all of the session recordings. So thank you so much for being here. If you asked a question, give us just another minute, we'll get it answered for you. And otherwise, we will see you in the next session. Thank you all so much.